My name is Dustin Oprisiu. I'm 24 years old, Team Classic fitness athlete. I weighed in this morning at about 178, about 6 pounds over my show weight, which was the Western Michigan Championships. I'm 5'9", slightly 5'10". I placed first in novice, got novice overall, and placed first in open class B in that show as well. So.
Okay. And this was your first year competing?
This is my first year competing. It was my second show of the year. The last show I did was the Wilkins, July 9th, I believe it was, which I was about 8 pounds lighter at that point. So.
Okay. Go ahead and take us through your workout today, what you trained, and what you like about each movement.
Okay. The first thing I started with was lat pull downs. That is, it's usually my go-to for my warm-up. Just do 4 sets roughly, 15 to 20, get the blood flowing. Then I moved on to actually reverse grip pull downs. That gets more of the lower lat, I've noticed, so I like to do that high reps before I jump into middle back, which I did seated rows, 4 sets of 12 to 15. After that, I finished off with straight arm, like pull downs with a straight bar, and I kind of exhaust myself through that about 4 to 5 sets until I feel that, can't really go on any longer. Then after that, moved on to biceps. I did supersetted wide grip curls with hammer curls on the rope. Did that 3 or 4 sets. And then moved on to triceps, warmed up with pull downs, reverse pull downs, and then moved on to skull crushers on the bench, on a flat bench with it was about 95 pounds, did 4 sets, 15 to 20, and then finished that off with dumbbell extensions, tricep extensions. It was about probably 70 to 80 reps just to get the blood flow, and finished it off with that.
Okay. And then you supersetted at the end with 3 different movements?
Oh, yep. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. Supersetted some seated dumbbell curls with like 20-pound weights, 25 pounds, something like that. Supersetted that with tricep extensions and then standing dumbbell curls, and just pretty much did whatever I had left in me, energy-wise. So I was pretty spent after that.
What was your diet like compared to let's see, this would have been your first year competing, so you didn't really have an off season, but
right.
Your diet like prepping for a show as opposed to like when you were just working out and stuff?
My diet prepping for a show, obviously, it was very structured. I had about 7 meals. At first, my protein was a little higher. I want to say about 35 grams of protein per meal, which was, when I started off, I was about 190. So I was getting about 240 grams of protein in that. I started off as well with carbs around 1 gram per body weight, so it was like 190 grams of carbs, and I slowly reduced that as the weeks went by and started losing weight. But as for when I'm not prepping for a show, I still try to keep protein high, carbs high, so I, have enough energy to get a good workout in.
What was your cardio like leading up to the show?
Cardio leading up to the show every day. 3 weeks out, I was doing it twice a day. Fasted first thing in the morning, and then about 30 minutes post-workout. So about a total of an hour each day, cardio at least. And my refeed days, I kind of upped it a little bit because calorie intake was a lot higher than normal.
How long was your prep? How many weeks out did you start?
I started this prep 8 weeks out. So I had to lose about 20 pounds in that 8 weeks, which was a little difficult. Next time around, I want to shoot for about 12 just so I can keep more size and have to lose less weight each week, if that makes sense.
After like Nicole Wilkins and off. And then...
I came off. My diet wasn't as good as it should have been. I kind of put on a little too much weight, I'd say, a little too much fat, but it worked out in the end. And I came in very conditioned, probably about as conditioned as I possibly could have been. So I was happy with the outcome, for sure.
Okay, good deal. How did you end up competing this year, bud? What drove you into doing it?
Honestly, I can tell you exactly how it happened. I used to work out at LA Fitness, and one of the guys, he was a younger guy, came up to me and asked me if I was competing. I was like, no. Why? He's like, because you look, you got the shape and you got the condition to compete. And I'm like, well, come to think about it, maybe I should, have an end state goal instead of just working out to work out and stay fit, have another goal on top of that. So next thing I know, it's kind of a rookie move, but went on Instagram. I found one of the guys that competes and coaches, and he looked good in my eyes at the time. I didn't really know much, so I sent him a message, and before I knew, he was sending me a diet plan. But his method didn't really work out too well for me. I ended up losing way too much weight, came in too lean too quick, and I think my metabolism was pretty screwed up. So that led me to Chris Ryan and Nathaniel Latham. These guys helped me out about 4 weeks out from the Nicole Wilkins because I ended up in the hospital about 5 weeks before the show with overheating, and I just lost too much weight. So they helped get my size back and came in as good as I could for the Wilkins. So, and then after that, we decided to work together again for the Western Michigan, and obviously that worked out pretty well too. So.
Yeah, definitely. Now you are a veteran, bud. And we were talking during your workout. A lot of people, it seems like, actually do have like some military backgrounds. It seems to draw people to the sport a little bit. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your service and where you served and the advantage you think that would give you to competing and stuff.
I served for about 3.5 years. I was a mortarman, infantry, indirect mortarman, and I served with 2nd Cavalry Regiment over in Germany. Did about 2 years over there and 9 months in Afghanistan at a FOB down in Kandahar. What really helps me out with the bodybuilding career is the discipline that I learned, to take orders essentially in the military. And sorry, I just lost my train of thought. But the discipline that I inherited from that helps me out a lot, and just taking kind of trusting the process and having faith in the people above me to give me, the right info and right guidance. So you really have to trust in the people above you, like leadership in the military as well, with your life essentially. But out here in the bodybuilding world, it's not much different. You're just not, you don't face death. It's just trying to beat what you had before, the package that you brought before. So there are a lot of similarities to it for sure.
Okay, so did you play any sports, bud, in high school or anything, or were you already lifting weights and stuff beforehand of competing? Or?
No, honestly, I started lifting weights when I joined the military. Before my freshman year, I was a wrestler. Did that for like a season, and then I had to start working, so I didn't have time to play sports or anything. But yeah, my entire high school, career, whatever you want to call it, I didn't really lift weights. I just worked my ass off and just kept up with school. That's it. So.
Any people you like to thank, Blake?
Yeah, I'd really like to thank Chris Ryan. He's my coach for nutrition and posing and stuff for the Western, and then Nathaniel Latham. He actually let me utilize his gym here in Lansing, Classic Fitness. He's helped me a lot. I've learned a lot from him too. He prepped me up for the Wilkins. I want to thank him for that. But my family too, for the support that they've given me, and in the last 5-6 months, dealing with my moodiness and stuff like that. My close friends, I'd like to thank them for supporting me along the way, and I think that's about it.
Okay, but what are future plans for next year? Any ideas here?
Yep, future plans. I believe right now the plan is to come to Pittsburgh as kind of a warm-up for nationals, get exposed to some national judges, and kind of do a bigger show just to prepare for the national level. That's I want to say it's about a month apart, so pretty excited for that.
Well, good luck with your first off season, bud, and we'll catch up with you next year when you're prepping for your show.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you.